Hey guys, I'm Doug with Metal Tech and Stuff, aka Twisted Vintage. Got Wayne Tony here. He was with me the day that we went and dug the caches, and had a bunch of feedback. We've had people emailing us comments, both good and bad, and also calling our shop, asking questions about the cache. And I know a lot of people want to know how and why and all that good stuff. So basically, I mean, what happened was Mr. Evans came into the shop on a Friday and wanted to rent a machine to find some what he thought was buried coins in his in-laws' yard. They had found a map in his in-laws who had passed away's house, and he came in. It was a Friday, and I asked him kind of, how deep he thought the stuff might be, and he said, over 2 feet. I told him, well, the detectors that we rent, don't go that deep. And I asked him how far away he was from our shop, and he said about 30, 40 minutes. And I said, well, how about I get some friends and we bring our equipment out and see if we can help you locate it. But, we had no idea what we were basically going to find, because we get a lot of stories all the time. People bury stuff, and a lot of them aren't valid, and so on and so forth. So we went out. What was it? Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Yeah, it was the Saturday after, and it was me, Wayne, Jerry, and Craig.
Right, 4 of us.
Yeah, 4 of us the first day, and Mr. Evans and his wife. So we went out to the property. We brought our AT Pros, and we brought the Garrett 2500 2-box with the treasure hound set up on it. We were going to kind of use it as education for ourselves, because we don't dig caches all the time, and honestly just see what was out there. And so we had worked out with Mr. Evans that he would just pay us for what we normally would charge for a rental, and to cover our gas and a little bit of our time. So we went out there. We kind of went over the map, over the hood of my truck, and kind of got an idea of where things might be buried. There were little dots that were kind of just spread out over the
Right.
whole yard, but the map wasn't done to any scale.
And the landmarks weren't even there.
Yeah, some of the landmarks, there were like some chickapin trees that were drawn out, but the chickapin trees had died years ago.
Or the birdhouse and the pine tree.
Yeah, the
pine
birdhouse.
tree wasn't even there. So
Yeah, pine tree wasn't there, the birdhouse wasn't there, and like I said, there was no scaling done to it, so we just kind of went out there blind. I mean, it was,
basically all we had was north, south, east, and west in the direction of the house.
yeah,
That's it.
that's it. So we kind of just got our game plan, which was to just kind of spread out and just start swinging and see what happens. So we were using 3 AT Pros,
Yeah.
and then the 2-box.
Yeah.
So we went out, spread out, and I think the first hit, I was coming back through.
Yeah, I actually got a hit on the silver, the small, the milk jug.
Yeah, the milk jug.
And I called Doug to me to check it out.
Because I had the 2-box.
with the 2-box.
With the 2500.
Yep.
So I walked over there, and as I was walking over there, the 2500 sounded off. And it
Like
wasn't in the
bullfrog.
spot where Wayne
Yeah,
was.
it was about maybe 15 foot from
Yeah,
it.
about 15 foot away. And so we started investigating the first hit, the hit that I got. And as we were digging down, I hit glass, and I noticed the top of it. It was very thick glass, kind of like an old drinking or a gallon, 5-gallon
Yeah.
jug.
Exactly.
Which, let me back up. The owners came to us as well or Mr. Evans came to us because they had already tried to find it on their own with a backhoe. They had borrowed the neighbor up the street's backhoe and went through the yard hoping that they would kind of hit the coins, and the coins would get turned up and bring to the top of the surface and then they would go down and dig it. So when I was digging and I saw the glass, I had an idea right then and there that we were probably going to hit something.
Right.
So we kept digging down, found more glass, more broken glass, and then
Then we started hitting coins.
yeah, and then then the shovel just crashed through coins, and that sound if you hear it, even though I've never done it before, but it crashed through coins, and I knew we had hit something. But
Right.
anyways, we started digging it up, and it was mainly wheat pennies,
Yeah.
pennies, nickels, dimes, some silver certificates.
Two
Two of
silver,
them.
Yeah.
Some people have said, you know, they should have been deteriorated by then, but no,
They weren't in great shape, but they weren't.
Yeah, they were in bad shape,
Yeah.
but they were actually in that container up to I think a couple months before they had hit it with tobacco.
Exactly.
So that's why it wasn't fully deteriorated. So then we went and investigated the spot 15 foot away, right up near
The smaller hit that I
yeah,
got.
it was next to a magnolia tree.
Right. Uh-huh.
And so that turned out to be a 1 gallon jug,
Plastic jug.
a plastic jug of coins.
Right.
And Mr. Evans and Wayne dug that one up while we were still, the other two of us, well, actually three, Jerry, Craig, and I were digging up the 5 gallon. Well, then Mr. Evans said, you know, hey, what's in this one? And I'll let Wayne kind of take over because we got a bunch of bad comments about what happened
stabbing
next.
the jug, and that was all me. I know hindsight, it won't happen again. But because we found the glass one with a lot of modern in it, and because this was a plastic milk jug, you know, I'm thinking
And we had dug
modern
clad
point
earlier,
a lot of clad.
And adrenaline was going.
Yeah, right.
Adrenaline was
Mostly
going.
that.
Mr. Evans wanted to know what was in it at the time, you know, just not
Yeah.
thinking. He
It
took the
was
leshy out because it was on his hip.
Rushing moment.
Crashed through it, and ironically, that milk jug did contain some silver quarters and
Yeah, not a
different-
lot, but
not a lot of it, but
yeah,
it
so-
did contain some silver in it. So it was also raining that day, sprinkling off and on. So that's why we had the cover on the GoPro.
Yeah, and I never used it metal detecting, and that was the first time. And once again, because I didn't want to mess the camera up, that's why I was in the plastic case. And obviously, we know it's going to get dirty because we're digging in dirt. So that's why I left it in the case. And the noise, the audio is bad. I apologize for that, but under the
We didn't know
situation
what we were gonna
or the
get
environment
into.
we were in, that's why I used it.
Yeah. So then we took the rain. It started raining really bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So we hung out in the garage for a little bit. Kind of started looking at the map, the placement of things, and we realized that the persons that buried it, the 5 gallon was actually in a dirt driveway where they always park their Winnebago.
Right.
And they always park their Winnebago on top of it, so that's why they put the 5 gallon where it was. The 1 gallon was next to the magnolia tree, so that was their landmark as to the magnolia tree.
Right.
So we're in the garage because it's raining. We couldn't do any more detecting really, and it'd been a long day.
I think we caught it up. That was we found those 2 finds.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah, that day. That was that first Saturday. So we started looking at the map again, studying a little bit more. Decided to go back out. We went back out the following weekend.
The following weekend, or either 1
It was
weekend.
either 1 or 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And went back out there, brought some extra people with us. We brought Wayne Morin, my business partner here at the business, and his grandson Jamie, and kind of had a different plan of attack. We were going to try to hone in where we thought the birdhouse used to be. There was a porch off the back of the house, so we kind of drew a line from that into a group of tree area where we believed the birdhouse was. Well, there was a big pine tree that had fallen down, and we had actually walked through that area the time before with the 2-box, but didn't get any hits. Well, Mr. Evans and I think the neighbor got the tractor
Yeah,
out.
cleared out.
They cleared out the area with the brush hog, and then
There was a lot of fallen trees and underbrush.
underbrush. Yeah, it was just very thick.
If they wouldn't have pushed that out,
Well, that's what happened. That's why we found it. They pushed that
yeah,
pine tree out of the way, and Jamie was walking through there, and he's not real familiar with the machine either, but it went off. So I went over there. Jamie and I walked over at all at different angles, and it kept going off each time. So that's what you see on the video. In the second video is we're digging down. We dig down to about 30 inches. We hit white, something plastic, and it was white. And you'll hear me in the video. I just kind of chalked it off. I thought it was a part of the septic system, or somebody said chlorine bucket. You know.
right, yeah, that was the son-in-law. I mean, no,
Yeah.
that was the son.
Yeah.
That was the son of the.
Yeah.
the
So
deceased,
we
yeah.
just had no idea. So we Jerry and I then started digging it out more. Dug it out. We finally got it out. Flipped it over. We were a little bit more careful this time. We didn't use the leshy,
Right.
stabbing it, because we
Yeah.
knew what we had found before. So we popped the lid, and the guy had actually gone through and styrofoam peanuts packed in there. It was an
Right.
original kind of bank bag. That
Investment Rarities was the
Yeah,
was the
Investment
bag.
Rarities, where the bag is from. They're still in business, and He had the bag in there. He had it in plastic, I believe.
If you look on the video, the gentleman, the older man bending down, gathering the coins, that's Mr. Evans.
Yeah, that's Mr. Evans.
He's the son-in-law.
It was his in-laws that
Yeah.
had buried all the money. So we opened it up, and you know what
And
you
there
see in the
was.
videos. There it was. It was
Yeah.
500
Didn't
silver
expect it
halves.
there, yeah.
Yeah. So looking back at all the dates on the coins, all the clad and the silver and everything, we figured out pretty much that it was buried in the late 70s, early 80s, pretty much all of it.
Some of the ones we found.
Yeah, yeah. Now there's 2 more still on the property that are showing up on the map. We're still confused as to where they are because it appears like there was a garage built later.
Yeah.
We don't understand why they would build over the garage, but we think that it might have been buried over the garage, or that the scaling's off really bad and it might actually be behind the garage. But the family was under pressure to find the stuff because they had the house for sale. It was part of the estate, and they were selling the house, selling the vehicles, and everything else.
Right.
So the first time, like I said, they paid us for the rental cost, which covered our gas, a little bit of time,
Which we agreed on.
and then,
That.
yeah, we agreed on that. We had they let us grab a handful of coins out of the 5-gallon jug, and then the second time they gave us each 2 of the halves, and then they asked us to come back out a third time. But quite honestly, the third time, we didn't ask for a contract. We didn't expect, know what we were going to find. We're not really in the business of doing this all the time, and it kind of happened so quickly. But after we got home and realized and started trying to put a number on all the money that we had recovered for them, which we calculate over $8,000, if not more.
If you go by value.
Just by face value on the clad and then silver melt value, we calculated it over $8,000. So the third time they wanted us to come back out there because there was someone looking to buy the home. We just kind of felt uneasy at that point because we had closed the store twice. So we missed sales on 2 Saturdays. We had all taken our own personal time to come out there. And we just thought that, we asked them what, we said, hey, we just feel uneasy coming out the third time because we just feel like, we haven't really been compensated for our time or gas or anything like that. And Miss Evans was really, was nice and said that she would talk to the family and see what they could work out. And then she got back with us and said that they just declined, and that
they were just going to turn it over to the.
They were going to give the maps to the new owner
and let them
just give them our name and number for them to call us. But to this date, it's been months, and we haven't heard from them. So.
As far as the true value, they haven't told us that.
They haven't told us.
We probably won't hear from them, to be honest.
We don't know if we're going to hear from them or not. Mr. Evans is fighting cancer, and we wish him the best and hope for him the best. We didn't know that he had cancer at the time when we were out there, but he was a very nice man. And I know that his wife called me and said that when he beats the cancer, he wants to get into metal detecting, and so I'm looking for him to come to our shop and get into metal detecting with us so we can show him the ropes. But we did this video as a follow-up because a lot of people have asked, and like I said, we've got negative comments, and I understand the skepticism.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
There's a lot of BS videos out there. I'm a reputable dealer, man. I detect all the time. I'm president of the Montgomery County Artifacts Recovery Club and member of the Houston Club and the Tomball Club, and I have a passion for metal detecting and do it every weekend and every free time I get. And Wayne and I are constantly, studying areas to go, and we're planning on a trip here in the springtime. And I promise you, it was all real. And
some people have asked, well, why would they have buried that money? We don't know the true reason why.
We don't know why people buried money.
But if you look at Mr. Evans, we're assuming his age is in his mid-70s.
Yeah.
Would you say? So his father-in-law, who passed away, would have been in his 90s.
Yeah.
Easy to say. And if they've been burying this stuff in the 70s, whatever, to be in the 90s, in other words, you knew about the Depression. If you were in your 90s, you know about the Depression. So maybe it was because of that, or maybe it was because the year 2000 was. Remember back before 2000, everybody thought the banks were going to collapse or the end of the world, or So who knows?
Yeah, we have no idea why they
don't know
buried it.
buried
I don't think Mr. Evans even knows
I
why
think
they buried
no
it.
one knows.
We don't know why people bury money today. I mean, there's still people burying money today. I've, had people buy detectors from me because they buried stuff and they want to know if they can find it with the detector. So we don't have that answer as to why they buried it, but it's promising to know, and that was part of what the learning experience
exactly.
is. To know that equipment will find it. I was a little bit. I didn't know that the 2500 how deep it would go. I mean, I know from using it on other things. We found some large pipe with it and stuff like that. That I know that it works, but we had no idea that it would find a 1 gallon chlorine tablet jug at 30 inches, which I'm calculating the coins when they're settled in the bottom of the bucket. It really found it at about 36
Yeah,
inches
that's right.
deep.
Yeah.
So, I had no problem finding the 5 gallon because that was large. It was actually a little bit closer to the surface. The other 1 gallon jug, it didn't hit on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason we figure is because it cones out towards the top.
Right.
And that one was actually a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
It was deeper.
Yeah, I barely got a light faint on that.
On the AT, it just barely hit on it.
Barely.
And quite honestly, if you were using the AT Pro and you were just out on a lot or somewhere,
You probably would have left it alone.
It sounded like it was a penny.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
over
you
10
probably
inches
would've-
deep.
yeah, you would've
You
left
might
it
have
alone.
passed it up or whatever. But anyways, if anybody leave comments, good and bad, I mean, we're
Yeah.
here to answer the questions. We figured it'd be easier just to do a video rather than answer every email. And we had no idea of the scale that video was going to go, and we've had people from overseas call us, and hey man, I can honestly say that you just don't know what you're
You
going to
never
find.
know.
and
I'm surprised.
That's part of what I enjoy about metal detecting is you just never know what you're going to find, and this proves it. So give us the comments and let us know what other questions we can answer. I hope we answered most of them.
Yeah, I'm sure
And,
there's some we didn't cover, but
Yeah,
if they're there, just send another post and we'll put another video together.
yeah. So
And I know we had some comments about cleaning coins. Thanks for those.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not an expert at any of it. I've been doing it a long time. I've been metal detecting a long
There's
time.
always something to learn. I'm new. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, if you want, I mean, I've got a forum. We've got like 500 plus people just in Texas at coinshootingonline.com. It's free to join that. I'm in there a lot. Wayne's in there a lot. You can post comments there and kind of see follow-ups and stuff as well there. And that's it.
So.
And also, we forgot the map, but some people wanted to see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of dub that in at the end.
Yeah, I'll post it on the end.
We'll scan it or shoot a picture of it, and Wayne will post it at the end. So take care and
Thanks
happy
a lot,
hunting.
guys.
Yep.